Welcome back. In this session, we're gonna finish off our sketch real quick before we do our solid. We gotta do just a few more things, easy stuff. First, let's fill it around the edges that we need to fill it. So right here and right here, we need to place a 1-inch fillet. As you can see, right here, it's a 1-inch fillet or radius. So let's go ahead and make sure it's 1-inch radius, and let's click on those two lines right here to create our fillet. Press on OK, and last but not least, we're gonna have to trim this area right here. So go ahead and click on trim. Make sure divide delete is on and delete this side, go to the other side and delete that side too. Now we're ready to start doing our solid. This is going to be fun. So let's go ahead and do this. Click on the green. Let's change the color to red. And we need to create a new level. Since we're doing solid, we've done this before. Let's name our first one wireframe. Hit enter. And then change the number to 2. Click on tab and it will automatically clear the first one and create a second one. And let's name that solid. Click on the OK button. Now make sure you switch the Z to 0. Enter. Now let's create our extrude. So let's create our little boss that's over here. We're going to create the stop circle coming down. And we're going to start cutting away everything. And then we'll create these pockets last. So I'm going to minimize this and let's get started. So go ahead, and what I want you to do first is go to settings, go to toolbar states, click on solids, and then click load. And what that does is put in our solids menu on the left side here if you don't have it already. Now that we have that, let's click on extrude solids. Make sure 3D is checked and click on this outer boundary right here. Now once you do that, make sure it's facing down like this. And we're going to create I believe it's a 2-inch extruded body. So we're going to create a body that's 2 inches down. There you go. It's going to show up in red. I'm going to put that on fit to screen so you can see it better. Now let's create our upper body, extruded down as well. So I'm going to go over here, create body. Let's select this outer line and click on OK. That's going to be 1 inch down. And click on the check mark. And there you go. If you want to see it at any time, let's go over here to Toolpath and click on Solids tab. Now you'll see both solids created. If you hold Tab or Alt and click on S, you will see your geometry that you created. You created a solid here and a solid in here, but this whole solid needs to be cut on the inside so we can create our real geometry. So I'm going to get out of this and let's create our inside geometry. Go to extrude again. Oops, I clicked on revolve. Let's go to extrude and click on this inside geometry and click on OK. You want it down again, but this one you want it to be cut body. And click on OK. Now it's going to ask you select target body to cut. Let's go ahead and select this body and you will see it cut. If you cannot see it, just go ahead and hold Alt and click S and there you go. So now we need to create bodies from those two features right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Create a boss. Select the first body, second body, and then click on the check mark. Now let's switch them both facing down, and we're going to do create body on this one. Let's go ahead and click on the check mark. There you go. And there's my geometry. So let's go ahead and create those two pockets right here. Now, in order to create this pocket right here, we're going to have to break these lines because we're going to need to select this contour or this chain right here, and we can't select it with one line being in this whole thing. To do so, we're going to learn a new feature in this session, and it's called, come down here, and it's called break intersection. So let's go ahead and select this line right here, and this outer line right here. And just come over here, select this arrow, and then come down to break at intersection. So now what we got this two lines that are separated, and we got these two lines that are separated as well. So this allows us to create our little pocket right here. So, but before we do that, we need to fix something. Remember when we created our body boss, the biggest boss we created, we chose a chain that was connected to each other, and now we just disconnected it. So what happened? If you come down over here, you're going to see a question mark by the solid. If you open it up, you're going to see another question mark by extrude. Let's open that up again, and we need to click on geometry. You're going to see that boss chain. That's the chain that we created first, the biggest chain. Let's right click on that and click on rechain. When you click on rechain, it's going to ask you to highlight the whole chain. So let's click on one end and then click on the other end to go all the way around it basically. Now that we've done that, click on OK and click on OK over here. And all you have to do is go to regen all, click it, and all the question marks are gone. That means that just fixed it. So that means you have to reconnect them back again or rechain them. So anytime you do a cut or do any kind of cutting in between the lines, like we just did, you're gonna have to reconnect them somehow if you've already created a solid from it. So now let's go ahead and create our little pocket right here. Go to extrude and let's select our geometry that's around here. There we go. Click on OK. Click on one of the lines to make sure it's pointing down. And this is going to be 0.5 inches. And make sure we switch it to cut. Click on OK. And then you're going to have to come over here over the body, because remember it says select target body to cut. And then click on the body. And now that extrudes it down half an inch. Now let's see what the last pocket is. The last pocket, it's going to be 1.5 inches from the surface. So let's go ahead and create that. And click on this line right here. And this highlights your whole pocket. So let's go ahead and click on the OK button. Let's change that to negative 1.5. And make sure cut body is created and click on the check mark. There you go. And then go ahead and click on your body. Oops, that only did it about a half an inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo. Geometry is used in a solid. Are you sure? I'm going to click on yes. So what happened now is that whenever I undo a solid, it confuses MasterCam and it doesn't know how it's going to go back from there either to this surface or to the top surface. So all I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to rechain my geometry. So go ahead and click on this, right click on it, and click on rechain. Click on the outer surface, click on OK, click on OK over here, and then go to extrude cut over here and click on geometry. Click on your outer one base, click on rechain, and let's click on this geometry now. It's going all the way over here. And as you can see, you already rechained the outside, and that's why it's very confused about it. So let's go ahead and cut it. So now we're going to go back and cut our geometry. I'm going to press error processing chain, click OK, and we understand that. Let's go back one step. I'm going to go back actually forward. I went back a step too far. Sorry if I'm confusing you. The reason I stay with my errors is to show you how to fix them. So to fix this, let's go ahead and cut those two again. And to do so, I'm going to click on this side and then this one, this side and then this one, and then go ahead and click on break at intersection. And I'm going to recreate this chain again. So I'm going to go to geometry, right click on my chain, and rechain. Go ahead and do this one again. This one's going to ask you if you want to go this way, you want to switch it to this way. Click OK, and click over here. So that fixes this. Then you go to geometry, over here, right click on the chain, rechain, and then you click all on the entire outer line, and then you click OK. And then click OK to base chain, and then regen all, and now it gets rid of it. So now let's go to clear colors so you can see everything better. Now let's go over here to extrude cut. This is the last extrude cut that we've done. Now remember we wanted 1.5 inches. It only did it half an inch. Go to geometry, or I'm sorry, go to parameters, and then change that to 1.5. And this is how we edit any geometry done by solids. And go to OK. Make sure you go back and click on. See now it shows there's an X. Now go ahead and regen. There we go. After you generate all, this is just like when you verify something or you backplot. You gotta regenerate all. So when you get done changing your parameters, just go regenerate all, and it will regenerate it. And as you can see now, it's deep enough. There we go. So now what I want to do is go to clear colors, and let's go ahead and see how it looks like. So hold Alt and click on S, and there you go. We just created the same exact solid that's in our sketch. So we can go back to our sketch and make sure we've done it correctly, and it looks good. So now we're set and ready to create our stock and start machining our part.